Welcome back to episode 3 of Boutique Babe Cave. I'm Haley and I'm here with my sister Lauren.
Hey!
And we are kind of just going to wrap up our brief intro. That was episode 1 and 2 about how we started and kind of where we're at now. That was honestly really brief. We kind of listened back and we're like, wow, we really didn't go into any details.
Yeah, it was pretty broad.
Yeah.
But we had,
There's a lot.
a lot.
A lot to go into. So, we'll get into the details and more episodes, but for this one, we just wanted to make it fun. So just about kind of where we're at now, we do have our storefront, like we said, downtown Rock Island, where we're open every Friday and Saturday. Brick and Mortar Boutique is what we're called, if you didn't catch that in the first 2 episodes. And we're open, Fridays and Saturdays, just because with traffic down here, it seems to work best for us, honestly, especially with our mobile boutique method.
Yeah, and even though this is our full-time job, it is like, there's a lot of other things we're doing. Like Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, we're shooting product, we're doing website stuff. So just being open Fridays and Saturdays is like perfect for our mental health right now too. So we're probably not going to expand our hours anytime soon.
Yeah, we had extended hours. So a few years ago, which were Wednesdays, and we kind of played around with a few different days, but Fridays and Saturday have been like our sweet spot.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyways, now we're down here, downtown Rock Island, and actually Lauren is having her second baby girl in 5 weeks. That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm bumping. Hello.
Yeah, you are bumping.
You're watching this. Hello.
Yes,
my
we're
giant bump.
launching all these on YouTube. So if you're watching on there, you'll see the bump.
I'm giant.
And then, I'm with a fiance. How do you say that?
Haley is getting married in October. Sorry, she said it like that.
Talk about me, please. I can't.
Words. What are words? Anyway.
So it's gonna be a busy year for us with a new babe and planning a wedding, honeymoon, all that stuff.
I'm not gonna stop laughing.
That's with a fiance. But anyways, we wanted also to answer. We had a bunch of questions from TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Throughout the 6 years, like so many questions.
Well, and they just keep coming. So we're gonna answer some because we did a poll on our Instagram story recently. And if you want to find us on Instagram, we're at Brick and Mortar Boutique.
Nice line.
So you can find us on Instagram. We're only at like a little under 10,000 followers right now, so we're still working on growing that. But we have definitely significantly grown that just by like natural, right?
Yeah, like
natural
word of
growth.
mouth,
We really haven't.
Yeah, we haven't. We've never we don't really pay for promotions.
Yeah, we don't pay for ads really. Like just here and there, maybe like $10, but we haven't done any like major promoting on Instagram. But 10,000's like not bad, so.
Yeah, we're pretty proud. And really, I feel like what's helped us too on social media, just a random tip here, is we collab a lot with small businesses, which I know we mentioned before. But even that, just having other small businesses post about you and get the word out about you has been so great for our social media following.
Yeah.
So word of mouth, amazing.
Yes.
So let's start with.
I was gonna say, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going back to my Instagram story. We got these questions recently through Instagram.
Yeah, so these are probably
the most recent ones. Yeah.
And like Lauren said on every episode, we'll kind of wrap it up with some questions, some new questions that you guys have been asking, or ones from years ago that we've gotten. Try and throw in some, funny stories.
Yeah, we were probably gonna do like a "What did Haley do this week?" segment. Where no, I'm just kidding. But we have a lot of Haley stories that are really too good to not share, so we'll have to do that too.
Yeah.
We're gonna have little extra segments here and there at the end of some of our wrap up episodes.
Try and lighten up all the business talk, So I'm gonna start reading some questions, and we haven't really gone over any of these, so I don't know if any of these will take us back.
I'm scared.
But all right, let's see. Got it pulled up, so let's just start with a random one. All right. All of the advice for someone interested in opening their own business. I love it because I could talk about that forever.
All of the advice? That's gonna take us like 20 podcasts. I don't even know.
Okay, we'll try and sum this up. All the advice. Do you want to go first? I guess we probably have some different words of advice.
Yeah, it depends on like what you're doing. There's a lot of like, if you're gonna stay with your 9 to 5 and start the business, you can totally do that, to make sure you have income coming in. But like for us, we both quit our 9 to 5s and jumped in fully. So if you really want to just like do it and take the leap, we tell everyone to just do it. Because we've had a lot of success with our business, and we love what we're doing.
Not
and
that
we're so passionate about it.
Not that a lot of people doubted us, I would say, but when it did come time to quitting our 9-to-5 jobs, people were like, "You guys are crazy." But we knew we were ready for the hustle and bustle that it was going to take for us to survive. So, and I mean, I'm just thankful it did work out for us.
But if you have like an only online boutique, I would say like, just be a little cautious, probably like keep your day job just until you start picking up that traffic. So
yes, kind of going off of that, I would also say, like a huge piece of advice we have given ourselves, I mean from other people telling us, and the advice we give is to have your overhead as low as possible, which is why we were able to succeed when we first started, because we didn't have a storefront, we didn't have rent, we didn't have anything that we were paying for monthly. We paid a set price for our trailer and for our merchandise, which was so small when we started, and then really just grew super small from there.
That's
so
true.
Low overhead is so important, because
Mm-hmm.
it would be so easy to get
to get in over your head.
Oh my gosh,
if you have
yes.
expensive rent and you're in an expensive area,
and you want to do everything to
make it
make it all the tens, it's a lot. So slow and steady.
Yep, slow and steady wins.
Yeah. More advice? I mean, oh my gosh, other than that,
I was gonna say we'll touch on things here and there, and so we're gonna do like with each episode, we'll do like the 5 first things, like how to start a small business, and then we'll kind of go into marketing and advertising, and then
specifically like mobile businesses,
mobile life, and all of that too. So
and again, this is all just things that we've learned from the past 6 years. It's not, of course, gonna work for everybody out there, but just things that we've learned and we have found that have worked for us after all of the years. So yeah. Also, I mean, I guess one more piece of advice. Like you said, whatever you're passionate about is so important.
Yeah.
I mean, during COVID, I really noticed people could do whatever they wanted. People were starting all sorts of small businesses with just something that they like doing.
Yeah.
They could start painting rocks, and all of a sudden they made it a side hustle, or knitting sweaters because they just did it once for a friend. And like anything that you love that you could do forever, like as long as you're passionate about it, you can really run with it.
Totally. Yeah.
And be successful.
And it's great to just start and see what you are passionate about too.
Yeah.
If you don't really know yet, I mean, that's something you just need to kind of start and
for sure.
dive
always
into.
Experiment and.
And if you fail, the first business fails.
No.
It always does. Don't worry. We're gonna tell you a little story. Our first business was a 1-room reno makeover. And what did we call it?
We called it room by room.
Room by room. And we were gonna come in. You have to give us like what your budget is. And then we were gonna renovate 1 room in your house for you and make it perfectly aesthetic and beautiful.
All in your budget.
And I don't think we had 1 customer.
I think if we did, it was our mom.
And our mom's friends. We're like, oh yeah, that like sounds like a good idea. I'm like, yeah, this isn't gonna work.
I actually completely forget about that. Sometimes I just like completely take that out of my mind and act like it never happened. But it's important to look back on
your
the
businesses will fail, and that will just propel you to the things that will your true passions and things you're really good at, and it will
other story.
It'll reveal itself.
Is a donut business that I kind of touched into for a little bit. But we might want to save that one. That's a really golden story.
Yeah, that's a good point.
A lot of people don't know about. So we'll save that one for another episode. All right. So next question. Let's see. Markets. Obviously, you guys kill it at markets. Thank you. Shout out to Good Makers Market for that. So they want to hear all about the markets that we go to, which is the bread and butter of our business.
Yes.
We love the markets.
So it's going to depend on the area that you live in. So we are in Rock Island, Illinois, in the Midwest. So our markets only revolve around like spring and summer. So our big ones are in May and September. And then the rest of the year, we actually do the Freight House Farmers Market downtown Davenport, Iowa, right across the river from where our store is located. And it's amazing. Every Saturday, thousands of people come visit, see us. We have new customers. That is a gem of ours. So we are designing about like 20 new t-shirts right now for our upcoming farmers market season. So that is something to definitely look into in your own town, because just the amount of traffic that will come through your mobile boutique or mobile pop-up, whatever you're gonna do, is unbeatable.
Yes.
It's amazing.
It will never, I mean, I don't know if I should say never, but for us, it will never be the day at the storefront, just because our storefront's more of a destination, and these markets are amazing. You know that hundreds of thousands of people are a lot of times paying to be there to shop. Like, there's a lot of them have tickets, some of them don't. It totally just depends on which ones you're looking at, but it's amazing. So really,
the markets are where it's at.
Yes, scouting those good ones out are, and it's so fun too, because we see people that we would never see, and we see them twice a year at that market, and they know us by name, and like we know exactly what they're looking for, and they've been messaging us all year on Instagram. But so yeah, the connections and the relationships, and then all the new faces we see every year, it's amazing.
It's really fun. It's so fun. I
That's-
love markets are what gives us anxiety, but also drives adrenaline, and we're like, we are here for it.
Yes, it's amazing. I remember when Annette, our good friend, she has been shopping with us since day one, but she's worked some markets with us. And after I think we finished the first day of one, she was like mind blown. She was like, oh my gosh, just so much anxiety, and it's like stressful, but she's like, I am so here for this. Like, it takes the right person. But it's such a thrill and rush, but it's amazing. It's a great time every time.
Yeah, because you were just constantly like checking people out, helping customers, letting them try stuff on. It's like one thing after the next, and you know, the only thing, weather. So, and being in the Midwest, you know, we have everything. So if you're in a state or an area where like the weather is consistent and solid, we are very jealous of you. But it is, I was gonna say, the weather can hurt a big day for us too. So if it's raining, that could just completely wipe out our sales. So
and it's not all butterflies and rainbows, because there have been markets where it's been downpouring. I remember we have so many pictures of us in ponchos, and everyone's bags were just soaked, and also farmers market days. I'm like, I live for farmers market days, but 80% of the time I am dripping in sweat, like constantly dripping in sweat. So it's like also being prepared for the markets, I guess. The first few years, we probably weren't as prepared as we could have been, but we're slowly learning to bring enough water and food, because there's gonna be markets where, especially if you're by yourself, there's so many markets where, like our friends are by themselves, and we gotta get them food, we gotta get them water, because it gets really chaotic, and all of a sudden it's over.
But it is very fun.
It's a very fun rush. All right, let's see. Oh my gosh, there's so many different ones. All right, this is a pretty straightforward one. Who thought of the name? So our name is Brick and Motor Boutique. The play on words there, because we started out with a mobile boutique, so we're on wheels. So, Lauren, who came up with that?
So one night I don't even know. I was dreaming. I'm not dreaming. I'm just laying in bed thinking, and I was like, oh my gosh, it'd be kind of cool to do like brick and motor instead of brick and mortar, because we're only doing mobile, and we'll continue to only do mobile for our entire business, which was obviously not true. But hey, I was like, Haley, is this a good idea? Do you like this name? She's like, Lauren, that is literally genius. I was like, thank you. Okay. I contributed to the business. Thank you.
And it was supposed to be Love Your Sister, because our original plan was, we're sisters 4 years apart. We were really basing it off of going to those universities and really giving back to the philanthropies at sororities and everything like that. So we're like, Love Your Sister is so cute. It's so to the point, and now
and we love each other, so it made sense for us.
Love Your Sister.
Anyway, our name has been a huge draw, and people talk about it all the time, and all of our small business friends, whenever they try to say brick and mortar, they say brick and motor now. We've branded it into everyone's head.
So it's a great form of free advertising. I was telling Laura that. I'm like, what a genius form of advertising. We didn't even mean to do it. Right? Even think about it like that.
So
genius. Chef's kiss. So and it's funny too, because when we got a brick and mortar building storefront, people were like, oh, well, you're gonna change the name now? Like, doesn't really make sense. And we're like, no, you can't do that to people. Like, it's
No.
way too confusing. Oh yeah, that is the story of Brick and Mortar Boutique. So let's see. All right, do you want a funny question, Lauren, or do you want a business question?
Ooh, I don't know.
Or a serious question?
What do you mean?
Okay, let's do the serious. All right, let's see. 3 of the biggest challenges we've faced since opening and how we overcame them. 3 of the biggest challenges.
I mean, one was COVID, obviously.
Yeah, one was definitely COVID.
But
Yeah.
that's just overcoming that was hard for every small business, and it was just pivoting to online and trying to do curbside pickup and things like that.
Live videos, things that we like have never done before and we're horrified of doing. We're like, all right, I guess we have to start doing these things. However, we get ourselves out there.
Yeah.
So that was definitely one of the.
And that was just the biggest pivot.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, obviously the biggest pivot for probably all small businesses out there.
Yeah.
But another one that honestly comes to my head that I feel like we typically don't say when someone says like a biggest challenge, but I feel like the storefront has been a challenge just with getting people in here. Like a storefront will never be successful if you just slip on your legs and you just sit here and wait for people to come in,
Right.
which obviously didn't work for us either. So we really had to get creative, and now we're at a good point with having different classes. We mentioned in the first episode, we do like yoga classes now, candle classes, just different fun community things that will, you know, like girls will text their friends about and be like, hey, let's get a group together and get all dressed up and go down and do that. So adding those things to our storefront now that we have the space to do it has been super helpful. And you don't honestly even need a lot of space. Like we have small businesses that have half the storefront space that we do, and they still have smaller classes or get creative with movie nights or karaoke nights, you know, like anything you can think of was.
And you could even
good.
do stuff like outside. If you have like a little park or something near you, you could do a tiny pop-up at a park and do a yoga class or something. So you can always get creative with the space, and we're lucky that we do have a big space to work with. But.
And I mean, we even had to obviously get creative too. We were like, all right, let's paint some walls pink. Let's put some big clouds. Let's make it so when people are walking by, they do notice it and want to come in. Because, you know, people are busy.
Yeah, and it's all about the experience, the aesthetic, the destination, and, you know, getting good quality stuff. But it's going to be just continuing on this path with the classes too, because that's been amazing.
Yeah, that's been a really good way for us to overcome that challenge of getting people through the doors.
What's the third challenge?
Oh, the third challenge. I feel like
probably honestly like weather, like with a trailer. With a mobile boutique, it's just
so many things up in the air.
Yeah, and hey, we've had times where like some of our product gets ruined, and then we have to like just donate it, you know, or it's just hard. So weather can be the biggest challenge, but that's something where it's like it's a gut decision. And there's some weekends where we didn't go to our farmers market, and it didn't end up raining as bad as it was supposed to, and we lost out on a lot of sales.
That probably happened more than a few times.
Yeah.
And I was so mad every time because, I mean, it's so hard to know. And there's been markets where it's downpoured and things get ruined, no one shows up. So it is, you know, it's a catch-22.
It's like a gut feeling, and you just have to kind of play it by ear. So
yeah. And with weather, kind of, I mean, hand in hand, is the mobile boutique. I feel like that was also a challenge just to learn everything about the trailer. I mean, like the AC, we had a moment where all this water just rained down from the AC inside the trailer. Like all these little things that we had to learn to fix and how to do and everything.
And making sure your trailer is totally stable. We'll tell you about that story later because that's going to be a little bit, but woo, people were rocking and rolling in there.
Signs were falling.
We've learned so much. It's great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I would say the mobile boutique in itself was a challenge and still is. I mean, there are still times where I don't know, hitting curves or you know, like nothing too serious, but it's all a learning curve. So we'll go a little funnier now. because that one was the serious one I was talking about. All right. A funny funny story. This one's from Annie. Shout out to Annie. Tell on working with your sister, but only if it's the pepper spray story that's included with it.
Aww.
Pepper spray story.
So yeah, being, two women that own the shop together, and usually just us two working originally at our other shop, our smaller shop, my mom was like, you guys need to have protection if something bad happens. We are gonna get you girls some pepper spray. And Haley goes, Mom, I already have pepper spray. Like, I don't need it. I'm good. And Mom goes, do you know how to use it? And Haley's like, yeah, of course. I'm not an idiot. And
I'm an idiot.
She's like, okay, well, show me then. And so Haley's like, okay, fine. So we go outside.
Swing open that door.
I
say, freeze! Put that pepper spray out like I'm about to pepper spray someone. And that gust of wind just hit it all back to my face. I essentially pepper sprayed myself in the face.
It was gold. I have a video. I'll show you guys a video later.
My gosh. I hit the ground in tears from it hurting so bad, but also in hysterics from laughing so hard. Because I was like...
goodness. I think my mom and I were like laughing so hard.
Yeah, but then Mom was also a little concerned because I was like, it's burning! And Mom was like, get it out of her eyes!
What do we do?
I don't know. She thought I was maybe gonna go blind, but...
That's a good story. Thanks, Annie.
That's a really good story. I forget about that one.
But anyway, so yeah, our protection, if you come in and try to fight us or steal, we got pepper spray.
Yeah, we got pepper spray.
And we know how to use it now.
Don't let me take it outside.
No wind in here. Haley can do it without the wind.
That's so funny. All right, we'll do a few more so we don't have you guys listening forever. Let's see. Do you want to pick the next one?
I don't care.
You pick the next one. Okay. There's a lot.
Okay.
There's a lot of good ones. There's some business related, some personal related, which we're here for it all. If you want to ask us what pets we have,
Haley wants to talk about her pets. You
better
better
ask.
ask.
About my cat.
Oh, Annie was like, one with the men of Brick and Mortar, the real MVPs.
I
LOL.
was laughing at that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'd love to have an episode with Charlie, my fiance, and Lauren's husband.
Oh my goodness, we can do that. That's a great idea. That's so fun.
They probably have better stories than we do.
This one says sex, drugs, and alcohol, question mark.
Nope. Yep. Here for it. What about it?
And then one said, just what made you guys open a shop? I think that's good.
I think that's a good one.
That's so solid.
That kind of reminds me of one of the first questions we got when we were on Buttercup Candles. Also, shout out to them. They're a small business around the area who they make their own candles, and they have a lot to offer there. But we were on their podcast, and I remember he was like something along the lines of, did you guys start the business because we love clothes, or did we start it because we always known we wanted to be entrepreneurs? And I thought that was a good question because I guess I've never really thought about it like that. And I would say, as much as it's a little bit of both, but I would say more of the fact that we've always wanted to be entrepreneurs together when we were younger, and then finding that thing we were passionate about to really run with.
Right.
Because we've always started small businesses since we were 10 years old.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's really why we knew we wanted to start either a shop of some sort or some type of business where we were designing or something along those lines.
Yeah, like I said, when I was 11, I wanted to be I was a really bad speller, but I have this little thing in my diary, and I spelled model wrong, but I wanted to be a model my whole life. Yeah, so anyway, I'm doing that. So thank you, Haley, for letting me model. Even 9 months pregnant. Yay me.
You're a great pregnant model.
And then fashion designer, which we are literally doing right after we get off this podcast. Yes. We are going to design some really cute stuff for the farmer's market. We get all that locally printed. Mm-hmm. And then a buyer and seller. And I think I spelled buyer wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just a really bad speller, I guess.
B-Y-E-R.
Anyway, so that's been super fun. And there's another question actually leading into that. It was like, how do you pick out the styles for market? And that's just being a good buyer. Like, what are you gonna pick? What are your customers gonna like? What are you gonna, wear? And what will they truly wear and love? And so we have to like continue evolving to make sure we're doing the right thing for that. But as I'm a mom now, and my daughter's 3, but I've been a mom for 3 years, my fashion has definitely evolved, and Haley's still a spring chicken, so hers has not. I'm just kidding. She's like, ooh, this corset top. I'm like,
I'm like,
nope.
please.
So we mesh well together because we have just
that
different
mix.
much different tastes.
We'll have a little bit of trendy styles come in, have some little going out ones maybe, and then some of the ones that you'll literally wear every day.
Tried and true.
Yeah, the comfy, oversized, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, my little button-down tops that I wear every day.
Yep, yeah. So yeah, I feel like
This one I'm wearing is really good. We have this one in 4 colors.
if you're watching on
YouTube.
Yeah, that's a solid one though. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like, do you want to do one more? We can do one more.
Are you sure?
Yeah, hit me with one more.
Okay.
And there's so many. We'll have many more questions to come. So.
One says, what does a typical week look like running the business?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Is that Amanda?
Yeah.
Shout out Amanda. That's a good one because we will randomly get that question. Actually, it's funny because some people will be like, you're open on Fridays and Saturdays, like, why not every day? What are you doing? But they also a lot of them don't realize we have the mobile boutique too, because that in itself. Honestly, what I love too about being a small business owner, which some people would hate, but I like how we change it up all the time. We never truly know what the entire week will look like us. I feel like leading up to Friday and Saturday, but it's always different. I mean, to give like a general, maybe like 5 to 10 things that we do that are consistent weekly things we do. I would say website updating, just with like SEO, pictures, all those things, products. We do new products every Monday.
I would say, Monday is our like new product Monday. So we launch new styles every Monday at 6 p.m. And sometimes on Monday, if we like just got back from our vacation in Arizona, we're like,
literally this past week.
So Haley, we have to model like 6 new things on Monday. What are we doing? Where are we meeting?
And it's like Sunday at 5 p.m.
Yeah. So we sometimes have to scramble a little bit, but usually we are like a little bit more ahead of the game than that. But
Yes. So we try and take those pictures, and depending on what our schedule's looking like, we try to take them like midweek or closer to the weekend, so that we have at least a few days to edit the pictures, get the descriptions ready, the sizes, the cost, all those things into Shopify, our website. And then besides that.
It's different every week.
week.
Like we had a huge shipment come in from one of our like favorite basic vendors this week. So we're gonna be hanging, tagging, steaming like nonstop because we have a market in like 2 weeks at like a huge expo center inside. And we're gonna start getting all of that ready to go for that. So
yes, and it's so funny. I was just actually talking to my future mother-in-law and father-in-law. It's weird saying that, but all about how steaming, tagging, and just like opening boxes, all of those things take so much time. And I know like eventually, to grow, and obviously our friends help out with this too. You find people to do those things for you, but right now we're the ones doing that along with a few of our friends, and it is so time consuming. It's satisfying though, steaming out the clothes. Lisa was saying that, but it is very, very time consuming.
Yeah.
So all that, we usually have at least 3 boxes every week that we're, unboxing, getting the store all ready for you guys. And we also try and do different events, at least 1 to 2 a month, whether it's related to holidays or just like what's going on. So then just preparing for that, making sure we have like all the businesses that are going to be set up that day, like everything planned out.
Yeah, we do a lot of fun gift with purchases too. So like usually we're trying to buy little gifts, like if you do like a beaded bracelet, and then we do little hoop earrings, and every time you spend $50 or $100, you're gonna get like to pick out something like that. we have to like buy those ahead of time and make sure they're in really cute bags and get everything ready to go for gift with purchase. So that's always a big thing we're doing too.
A lot of like little details, and then some of the not as fun. Well, I mean, if you think steaming tech, you know that's fun, but not as fun is like all the financial side.
Yeah.
We're getting better at our financials, and every 2 weeks, I would say, we try and go through and see where we're at with like taxes and everything like that, and try and figure all of that out, which is never fun, but we always try and at least schedule in our calendar now. Just like go to a coffee shop, sit down, get it done, because it'll make our lives so much easier.
And I mean, in these slow months, it's like January, February are always slow, so it's easier for us to get this stuff done now. So we're trying to get ahead of the game right now for our tax work next year. But we turned our taxes in on time, so like we're doing really good.
So yeah, I mean, not a direct answer, but it will probably never be a direct answer because every week
small business is
so
just
different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's a good place to stop for now. The next few episodes, I guess we'll probably talk more about like starting a business, maybe more specific on like mobile businesses or just business in general. And if you guys do have any questions about anything you want to hear us talk about, let us know. Like comment on any of our posts or just shoot us a message, and we will be happy to answer them because there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, and we still have way more questions on this one, so we'll probably just keep answering these at the end of each episode going forward.
Yep.
And then telling a funny story with what happened that week or things not to do.
Yeah, we love funny stories. So you guys can find us, we didn't really mention this before, but find us all over the socials at Brick and Motor Boutique, and then our website too if anyone wants to shop. We are doing 10% off code if you use podcast at checkout. So use that code podcast and you'll get 10% off, and our website is brickandmotorboutique.com. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye guys.